Hope we don't crash the computer. Is this where the... There we go. Can you hear us, Devin?
Check.
I'm sure they can. So today, forever, as being someone who's twice in my life I've lived as a professional activist, right? So coming from someone who has done that, if you're going to be an activist, you can't quit your day job. It's not like I was very, very, very lucky to be able to be a professional activist the 2 times I was a professional activist. And that's like getting hit by lightning twice rare to be able to have that as your job twice. So, there's just not enough money in the professional activism field to sustain yourself for any certain long amount of time. So it's really important that you have some sort of side hustle.
Gotta hustle still.
And on that note, Stefan Molyneux.
Remember him?
Remember that guy?
Right? Where'd he go?
What happened to him?
What happened?
He looks pretty sad.
This is his video, by the way. This is like he chose that thumbnail, like everything. Yeah. This is hit from his BitChute, right?
As we know, Steph was a victim of the purge. The post, when was that? I can't even remember when that was now. But he got his YouTube and his Twitter and his Instagram taken from him.
Right. He's all gone, right?
Yeah,
from those platforms.
All gone, he's gone. Which means his core group of fans, basically, I mean, if you run a YouTube and a Facebook for so long, you're going to have a giant pile of people. The usefulness of that pile of people varies. So if you lose that and you have to rebuild your platform, it's very hard because, you especially if you change your position on things or alienate any of your crowd, it's going to be very hard starting things up again. But anyway, we'll just get going on this.
Yeah, it's really not the easiest topic for me. Or maybe for most people who, like me, don't like showing the soft underbelly of their vulnerabilities and fears and concerns. But I mean, what's the point of praising honesty as a virtue and encouraging it in you guys if I'm not honest and direct with you myself, which I'm going to be? Because, it's time to lift the lid. I need to tell you what the hell has been going on with this show over the last little while, because it's been... so I'll be straight up with you, man. It's been pretty brutal.
So dramatic.
It's been pretty brutal.
It's been pretty brutal.
Very early this year, my views on YouTube crashed like 80%. Very quickly.
Oh.
Right? Very quickly.
It sounded like he was going to say someone died or something. Okay. First of all,
this is before he lost his YouTube.
So this video was originally uploaded to YouTube when he had his YouTube. So this was while he was still on YouTube.
Yeah. But this is even before he lost all his platform. Correct. So the problem was not that he lost his platform. The problem was there before he lost his platform.
He's as he said, it's been brutal.
I guess this video is a couple years. Yeah.
He said, use the word brutal.
Which means this was the era of when he alienated his original fan base.
Which, you guys know, he was an anarchist.
Yeah, he was a
straight
anarchist. And he was very popular in the Ron Paul 2012 era.
Yes.
I liked his stuff. It was a little bit too philosophical and long-winded for me, but Steph had some really cool, one-liners and shit.
I mean, and he made some of his videos, they were the foundation for
sure.
Anarchist, libertarian philosophy and principle. I mean, I've spread his videos far and wide. Some of his early videos, great base material.
A buddy of mine, when I was libertarian, before I was an anarchist, told me, he showed me a couple of his videos and he was like, I think you're an anarchist, dude. And he played a couple Steph's videos and I was like, oh, shit, maybe.
Yeah.
So, you know, he was a pretty important dude. But he turned into a douchebag once everybody got the phone call in 2015.
Well, it was before the election, right?
Before
Trump.
So the original purge was a I guess it would be called, it was like a faux purge, or like a cold purge, where everyone got the phone calls. When I was working for We Are Change, there was a phone call that happened to basically anyone with a platform, and they were told that they were going to get deplatformed if they didn't stop pushing these ideas and they didn't start pushing these ideas. So everyone got the phone call at the same time, because it was like overnight, you know, everyone started talking about Trump and Bernie Sanders and the whole libertarian movement that had been going on since that the whole Ron Paul thing happened, you know, was completely like screwed after that.
Yeah, it was derailed majorly.
Completely derailed.
Just momentum lost.
So, what happened, you know, we'll just, I guess we'll...
It was a good backstory. Or,
yeah, if you don't know the story, Stefan completely changed his views on a lot of things,
which made him lose a lot. As
which
you're
made
saying,
him lose
his
a lot of his core.
Base,
yeah, but he kept calling himself an anarchist, so it was like, whoa, dude, like, you need to calm down with that shit, because obviously
trying to justify voting.
Yeah, and the powers that be saw him as a good tool to convert a bunch of libertarians into being douchebag white nationalists again. That's why he kept calling himself a libertarian and an anarchist. You know, any chance he would.
With those labels. Yeah.
So
that's partly a YouTube policy for people who don't violate their standards, but they just don't like, right? And then, you look, I knew it was going to be tough, right? It's one of the reasons I started doing documentaries last year. Like I did Poland, I did a whole series that's still ongoing on California, and I was just out for a while in Hong Kong, where I just did incredible stuff. We got amazing footage. I was there with the director of Hoaxed. I was down in a protest talking with people. I interviewed the guy who wrote their constitution, another politician, interviewed entrepreneurs, and was right out there in a protest against communism when the protest and myself, we got hit with tear gas, and it was intense and brutal and visceral. And I just put that footage out. I hope you will check it out. So I knew, because, you know, it's an election year in Canada this year. It's election season in America.
Sorry. So he's trying to get views by being like, I was boots on the ground. I was at a protest.
Yeah.
We got tear
where
gas.
old man, you know, old man Stefan Molyneux has literally had to start going to protests to get his viewership up, because he knows that's where all the dumbest people are, basically.
It's guaranteed content. Yeah.
Guaranteed content. You're going to get the extremists from every group. And so he just needed to fit in with this whole white nationalist, niche that was created after Ron Paul. You know, Stefan knew that's where the money was. It was, I might have to side with these guys. Or he was told he was supposed to side with those guys.
Yeah.
And,
obviously didn't work out for him, though, view-wise, because he's still saying, I release amazing he just said, this is amazing.
Where his core group of followers, followed him for his take on things, the white nationalist movement and whatever, all these
he's trying to go
MAGA boys and stuff aren't into the whole philosophical thing, so he probably wasn't as well accepted.
Exactly.
As it's
not going as well as he thought it'd be, joining that team or being a
and we know
head of that.
Stefan Molyneux is 100% a YouTuber. He doesn't have a job. His wife is like a teacher or something, or doctor or something, but he doesn't have a job.
Yeah,
getting back to the whole don't quit your day job thing.
Right.
You know, they're not dumb. They know who influenced Brexit. They know who influenced Trump, and they just want to crush those views, right? And it's a very effective strategy. Actually, I'll be honest with you. Like, it's a two-pronged strategy, right? Suppressing people's views.
Yawn.
And again, I know it's not the quality of the show, because podcast numbers are actually up.
It can't be my content.
Can't be my
it's
content.
Not the no. People, it's just I'm being suppressed. My shit doesn't just suck.
So it's a two-pronged strategy to suppress people's views, my views. Number one, it's psychological warfare, right? Because then you say, oh gosh, my views are down. People don't like my show anymore. Oh, and then you lose your energy, you lose your enthusiasm, you lose your charisma, you lose your push. And I was not going to let that happen. I was not going to let that happen. So I have been pushing through that, and I have been positive,
It can't be that.
and engaged, and enthusiastic.
I can't suck. No.
At what it is that I do, because I will not let those numbers erode.
So basically, he's saying, I have a bunch of haters now that I didn't used to have, and I'm not going to let them and my views lower, take the wind out of my sails. Why would anyone criticize Stefan Molyneux back in the day? But when you pull a 180 on all your fans, they get upset.
That's the loyal base.
Yeah.
If that loyal
and if your
base
views
is
go
gone,
down and you got a bunch of trolls all of a sudden,
yeah,
and you're talking about stuff that kind of supports Trump,
trying to do,
you're gonna piss off your anarchist base to all hell. And then if you continue to call yourself an anarchist the whole time, woo!
You're lost.
To bringing
you lost everyone basically.
Yeah.
Philosophy to the world. So that's number one, is the undermining of your enthusiasm and your motivation. But number two is more dangerous in a way, very central way, which is, so I survive on donations, and a lot of those donations are one time, of course, but a lot of those donations are monthly subscriptions, right? Because I don't take ads. I don't have.
Maybe you should.
You should, yeah.
The big sponsor.
Boy.
Maybe you should have a big sponsor and take ads. Do you, big brain Stefan Molyneux.
High IQ.
Yeah, you can't figure out that maybe you need to do that. And that, if your fans actually really like you, they're not going to get upset that you run an ad. So it's almost like he's blaming it on his viewers. Oh, well, you guys don't want ads, so I can't take money.
And you're not giving me enough money, so...
Yeah.
And so I rely on you, the wonderfully kind listeners, to support what it is that I do. So people cycle into the show, right? New people see what it is that I do, they get interested, and then they end up, often 6 months later, they'll end up starting to donate. But then people cycle out, right? They lose their jobs, maybe they lose interest, maybe they've got everything they want for philosophy for a while, or maybe I say something they don't like. So then they cycle out. So you need new people cycling in for the people who are cycling out. So the whole purpose
of business model. That's how it works.
Suppression of what it is that I do is to choke off the supply of new people coming into the conversation who will support the show. And that puts you in a death spiral. As people cycle out of the conversation, fewer people are cycling into the conversation, which means...
If your content is good, you don't need to worry about any of that stuff.
Yeah. Overthinking it, bruh.
Yeah. Seriously.
There's
it's just a bunch of
problem
excuses.
here. Yeah, it's... Right.
Means your income begins to diminish. So my motto for the last year has been, more of the same is a losing game. More of the same is a losing game. And that has been the case. So I, of course, have been looking for other ways to get new listeners, other ways to generate income. So went on a speaking tour last summer, and they're signing books and chatting with people. So you sell some books too, some merch. So I was doing this speaking tour. My God, man! I mean, it was straight up war out there. Straight up urban combat. I mean, I'm standing there. It was in Melbourne. I remember standing there in the front of the venue, looking out of the parking lot. It's kind of surreal because of the time change and all. And I'm just seeing these feral ape-like leftists just barreling into the sides of the buses of people who want to come and hear philosophy, who want to have a conversation, trying to tip buses that throw in giant batteries at the bus windows. I mean, it was straight up urban combat. And couldn't even speak at all in New Zealand because of threats. Tried to give a speech in Vancouver earlier this year. The usual, bomb threats, crazy hostile media saying the most appalling false things. And
did you not know that that's the reaction you would have to supporting Trump and white nationalism at this period of time in our world?
Come on.
you jumped in because you knew you'd make money, but then you don't like any of the negative repercussions. Collecting leftists, of course you're going to collect a bunch of crazy leftists
Like
when you say dumb.
everybody knows, everyone's seen the clips of, these people, like, and also
They're irrational. Like, you can't be like,
yeah, it's emotionally driven people. But also, did we fact check this incident that he's talking about, the urban warfare? It was straight warfare, and that was
warfare.
I'd be interested in, we'll have to revisit
Sensationalism.
that. But yeah, I mean, maybe, but I'd like to.
The police wouldn't even show up when there was a church that was going to host my speech. People show up to threaten them, and they call 911. They're scared. The police don't even show up.
Oh no!
This is how freaking crazy it is out here. So that avenue is cut off. New listenership, new views.
You can't do speeches because leftists stop
bomb
you.
threats and shit. Like,
Viewership is largely cut off. So what can I do? Well, I can go out and do documentaries because nobody knows where I'm going to land. I can go out, I can do my thing, I can come back, assemble the footage, and put the documentary out. So that's one possibility. But, it's one of the reasons I'm having the conversation, sort of be frank, right? I put this documentary trailer out for Hong Kong. It's crazy, great, powerful stuff. By the way, thanks for those who thought I've gained weight. It's not. I was just crazy bloated in Hong Kong because my digestion did not survive the trip, and then the time flip, and
cool.
Anyway.
We don't care, dude.
But
I was bloated.
yeah, I'm asking for donations for that stuff and getting very little. So does that mean you guys don't want me to do documentaries? Okay, what should I do?
No.
If it's not going to be documentaries, again, more of the same. It's a death spiral. It's a losing game. The show is not going to survive because suppression means fewer people cycling in. I can't go and do book tours. I can't go do speaking tours. I can't go do speeches.
So he's threatening the viewership he has left with
cutting
canceling
them off
the
on
show.
Content.
Do you want a show or not? Give me more money. Like,
what should I do? Like,
how
you're
is
the
that
smart
a
guy with the
positive-
crazy high IQ.
Yeah, use your big brain, boy. Come on. But yeah,
you don't have a job that's like taking up all your time. You can sit up. It's the internet. It's so easy to make money on the internet.
He can't even leave his house because the
Saying,
leftists are going to
too many
attack him.
leftists.
There'll be urban warfare everywhere he goes. There's just bombs. He's getting Molotov cocktail. He goes to the grocery store and he's having to dodge bottles getting thrown at his head.
So what am I to do to get new listeners to survive? To have this conversation survive? 650 million views and downloads. More than 1 million of my books read every year. Thousands of listener conversations, incredibly powerful ones. Hundreds of subject matter expert interviews.
Scratching his head.
10 or 11 books. I mean, it's an incredible thing that we built here. This philosophy conversation.
He's got a little knucklehead.
But how am I going to keep it alive?
He keeps calling it philosophy.
In this incredible headwind of a ridiculously hostile and abusive media, right? New York Times.
Like, he's sensationalizing, he's blowing things up, he's marginalizing things, like he's acting like the media, basically, like to alter how things sound in his. It's so unusual.
Like
but so usual.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it
So
is.
papers out west in Canada. We got the Irish Times now, right? We're just crazy. Hostile. Stupid stuff. Wikipedia has turned into a complete toxic waste dump of leftist prejudice. The socialists are editing it, making me out to be some kind of monster, and then they lock it down so it can't be changed. I mean, that's hard.
Dude, who cares about Wikipedia?
That's hard. Now, you can survive deplatforming.
He just said that he wasn't going to let the negative press affect him.
Yeah.
But he keeps talking about it.
About all the negative press.
And he looks like he's affected by it.
If you have, like a crew, if you have people who will
Use that to
support
your
you and help you out, and like Dave Rubin's they're threatening to deplatform him at the moment. He's interviewing Maxime Bernier, head of the People's Party of Canada, here in Hamilton, and he was hit with 10 times security costs because of threats. And I'm like on Twitter, and I'm like, hey man, I'll help you out with your security costs. I'll chip in because this has got to go forward and so on. And I'm out there pushing back against people who are being deplatformed. But hell's bells, man, when I was being deplatformed, who was standing up for me? You guys, yes. I mean, who out there who's like prominent and helpful? It's just the way things are. So my strategy is I've been doing documentaries. My other strategy is I've been really working hard on Twitter. We did in 1 month 100 million impressions on Twitter. That's hopefully going to get translate into new stuff. So I've been pursuing a variety of strategies. Tried a new call-in show, just a dial-in show with a phone number, for enjoying that. So I really am trying new stuff to keep the show going, to keep the show alive. It's hard too, because after 15 years, this is something John Cleese said years ago, you get about 15 years of peak creativity, and then things, it's like a tent that just keeps folding in.
It's just
keep
the
poking it up.
15-year cycle's over,
Right,
and it's
so
there's nothing you can do.
At the sort of 15-year mark of me doing this as a public philosopher, there's a lot of suppression, there's a lot of undermining, there's a lot of verbal abuse and attacks from the mainstream media, and income is down because fewer people are cycling in to support what it is that I do. Expenses are up because I'm doing these documentaries, which are very expensive, and it just...
Don't do documentaries anymore. That's obviously not, yeah.
I've never heard of one of your documentaries, so they must not be that good. And it sounds like that's where you got in trouble, was making these documentaries and saying stupid shit in them.
Yeah, was when he was talking about Poland? Was that one of the documentaries? That footage we were watching?
He's like in Poland crying.
He's literally
at this. It was like a
march,
a pro Poland march.
Yeah,
and it looked like a weird, super government. Super government thing, and he was like so blown away because no one was fighting and it was all unified.
He's like, I feel torn because I'm an individualist. I preach about individualism, but I'm so moved. I'm moved to tears by this, and it's obviously collectivist. And he's like, I don't know, and he's just sitting there crying. Like, it's very,
very cringe.
These are the documentaries he's making.
Yeah,
it's so pro. I'm sorry, but no, you're not gonna make money off that.
It's a bit of a vice, it's just a bit of a vice.
Well,
it's closing in.
Yeah, because he's making content for a group that's made up by the media.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, if you're wondering why you aren't getting new white nationalist followers following you, it's because they don't fucking exist.
It's not this big
There are a few,
population.
But it's not a huge population.
No.
There are plenty of idiots and dumbasses, but
for sure.
The media points a camera at them and makes it seem like they're a lot more. But if you're wondering why your anarchist viewership is falling off with your new content, that's why. And if you're wondering why you aren't getting this crowds of white nationalists, it's because they don't fucking exist.
On what it is that we're doing here. I know it's essential.
It's essential.
But I don't know how.
Stefan Molyneux' philosophy
it's essential.
On white nationalism and high IQ and
race theory.
But sustainable. And that's the challenge. So, I guess I'm telling you where the pain points are. Not something I enjoy, but again, I want to be honest. I'm telling you where the pain points are.
Sell your heart.
And I'm asking tell me what it is I should be doing. What should I be doing?
Help me
on your wall. Brainstorm about things that I could be doing. It's hard to go on other people's show. My name's become really, really toxic, and there's not a lot of new people I want to.
This is like something that a noob starting a channel would ask its few followers, what should I do? You should know by now.
Brainstorm about things that I could be doing. It's hard to go on other people's show. My name's become really, really toxic.
Oh yeah.
Where'd it go?
Brave. Come Brave down there. Ooh. Oh, there it is.
Whoa.
Hi, everyone. Yikes.
Hi, guys. Thanks for watching.
Toxic. And there's not a lot of new people I want to interview, and I'll still keep doing the listener calls. I enjoy those, but again, more of the same is a losing game. The show cannot survive more of the same. I need new things. Do you not want me to do documentaries? Do you want me to write another book? What topics do you want? What do you think will help?
No documentaries, no more books.
What it is that I do. Are you guys sharing what it is that I do? Because without your shares, again, can't survive. And will you help? Can you help?
Sure about that?
Can you help? Please. The strategy is effective, right? Income is down, costs are up. Not a very sustainable business model. But you got to take risks when you're under attack.
stop.
Because again, more of the same is a losing game.
Spending
show fails.
So much money then.
So I need new things to do, and I need your support. I need your help, my friends. I really, really do. I have been busting my ass trying to find ways to extend and expand the reach of the show. And it's been hard. It's been frustrating. It's been disappointing.
Uh-oh.
Is he gonna cry?
You know, I like to act, and yet it feels like I'm trying to push string to just be able to achieve something. So I need your help. I mean, again, income's down, costs are up. Please. I want your suggestions. Absolutely. I want your feedback.
You need to bring your costs down, for
about
sure.
what it is I should do, but I do need your help.
Costs down.
All you need is a GoPro, bro, and YouTube.
It's
what
expensive,
else?
Cutting these documentaries, and
maybe a software program.
Or,
like, what do
hey,
you need to do this stuff?
If he wants to do boots on the ground stuff, there's a huge market for that. Yeah. Even if he wants to be, you know, whatever, the controversial guy, go into all, you know, speak to people, you know, do this Steven Crowder thing, like.
Yeah.
Just like you said, you just need a GoPro, decent mic, like. Bring your costs down. Stop doing the documentaries. Like, don't.
People love street videos, man. Like, holy shit!
He could do that.
Street videos.
Boom.
Yeah.
Ooh. And you know.
What the hell?
I don't think so. I think that they've been doing pretty well, and a lot of new people have come into the show because of it. But you know, maybe you disagree or whatever. But nonetheless,
he's so snarky.
Yeah.
Like you could see all these micro expressions. What the hell? All these micro expressions he's using.
Philosophy, please help. What it is.
He's angry at his. He's angry at his viewers. It was working earlier. He's angry at his viewers that they aren't sending him more money.
Yeah.
Like very angry. Either his wife's on his case because he hasn't been making money or something. I mean, what about crypto, dude? How do you not have tons of Bitcoins? 15 years in the Liberty Movement, basically. 10 years of that. Crypto is around. Yeah. How do you not have any crypto?
No, that's what I was saying last night. This is what he's like, guys, please, I need to buy the dip.
Yeah, he's like, buy the dip. I need to buy before the fucking happening happens and before we go parabolic. I need to buy the dip.
Yeah.
This is perfect. He's begging people for more money.
That's what's happening.
Here's the and like
it all makes sense.
Like how is it? And then I know he makes tons of crypto videos, so it's like, do you really need the money? Or do you just simply want more money? And like, that's what it seems like to me. He's just angry because he used to get a lot. He got used to making that 30 G's a year or something, or 30 G's a month, or who knows how much he was making. Yeah, he was making a lot of money back in the day.
Yeah.
And he's upset that everyone stopped giving him money, and that's all this is. He just wants to have all that money he used to have. He still wants that, but what he doesn't get is that he alienated his freaking foundation.
He's not going to get those numbers anymore.
And he's not going to get them back. Nobody who stopped following him is going to follow him back, no matter what he does after what he did. Like, it's crazy.
Of the show has ever seen. Free domain. I also spent a lot of money on the new website, which I think was important. The whole website was not working very well, and there was no place for me to post new writing and so on. So the new website, free domain, the whole
website's like, go on Fiverr, you can get some dude to make you the sickest website on the planet for $1,200.
Yeah, right.
It was pretty expensive to buy that domain name as well, but again, I'm very happy with those decisions. But I need your help, and I can't do anything other than, stare you eye to eye and tell you what I need and ask for your support. Please help out. What it is that I do.
No, there's other things you can do other than that. What do you mean?
Incredibly difficult and dangerous times. Physically dangerous times at times.
Physically dangerous
the Molotov.
times?
He's dodging Molotovs.
Oh my God.
He can't go to the grocery store. He can't do anything.
Good Lord.
Jesus.
Let it run if you want.
But please help out what it is that I do. You can check out, of course, the Hong Kong documentary trailer at freedomain.com/Hong Kong. But I need your help. I need your support. And it's been a while since I've asked, and the fact that I don't like asking is not particularly relevant, but I am going to ask nonetheless. Please go to freedomain.com/donate and help me out. Help me out. give me your suggestions, give me your feedback, give me your thoughts.
I think we should write him, babe.
Endeavor, bringing this level and intensity of philosophy to the world in these desperate times, these desperate and dangerous times. Really, really need your help. Free Domain Radio. Sorry. freedomain.com/donate. Thank you. Thank you for this incredible ride. I really, really hope it continues. I look forward to your feedback. Love you guys.
Ah, look at his face! Wait. We gotta experience the ender one more time.
Wait.
Come back and we just...
Coffee flying through me.
You ready?
To the world in these desperate times, these desperate and dangerous times. Really, really need your help. Free Domain.
Desperate and dangerous physically.
Physically.
/donate.
People are trying to beat up old man Molyneux.
Thank you. Thank you for this incredible ride. I really, really hope it continues. I look forward to your feedback. Love you guys.
Look at that creepy smile. Creepy plastic smile.
Ah! Damn, so that's what Stefan's been up to. Jeez.
Yeah. So that's a little shocking.
My turn.
So yeah, I mean I guess that wasn't, I thought it was a newer video, but still it's very interesting that he was for a while there like the dude. Flip-flopping from going from basically saying he's an anarchist, or, representing that he's an anarchist, at least for several years, to being a mouthpiece. I remember someone told me, they were like, oh, Stefan's like known for being a white nationalist now or something, or I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. What was the video? We watched some video of him. Oh yeah, it was him talking about how much. Yeah, it was back to that Poland. The video from Poland's really weird because he's just like crying because everyone's getting along, and it's just like, how boring that would get. Like that's not how life's supposed to be. You need the sour to make this. You need the sour to make the sweet. You can't just have this perfect place. Not that, like, what is happening now is any good, but...
And he was... Sorry, I just jumped
Go
in.
ahead.
And he definitely was bringing the whole race thing into the issue, insinuating that the reason why the country he was in was working out so well and there was no violence or anything because it was all white people.
Because it was all white people.
Let's be he.
And white people have higher IQs or something. He was saying some bullshit.
Yeah, he had some race theory things that he started bringing to the table. So I get that. Yes, he he used to be like a figurehead of the anarchist movement, and he said some good things. He may still say some good things here and there, but we cannot deny that. Like you were saying, he
Super
definitely
cringe.
is going for that audience that he thinks there must be, or either he's being
the
formed to do this.
neoconservative,
It doesn't really fucking
young
exist.
neoconservatives.
Yeah, there's not this huge movement of people who want to consume that type of content.
No.
They're like, yeah, white
Nobody.
shit, white people. You're like,
nobody wants to hear that shit.
Shit like that's
Garbage.
It's a farce.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh boy. So yeah.
Isn't this fun? I think it's fun. But
So next on our list is Adam Kokesh. I have not been following Adam for obvious reasons to anyone who knows me and my history with him. We're just we're checking out. I mean, it's been so crazy what has happened to the liberty movement. And these people, were kind of the glue that kept it together for a while. And then when everyone got the phone call, those things changed. But yeah, so Adam, let's see.
yeah, we checked in on him the other night, and then
Looks
we kind of
like
we drew a little
since
parallel
he's banned
here
from posting videos. Yeah.
We're like, wait a second.
Sounds like Stefan.
We just watched that Stefan Molyneux video, and then we come to Adam's page here, and the banner saying he's
Banned from posting videos on YouTube. Is that possible? If you still have a channel, your channel's up, you were posting as far as 2 months ago. The last video you posted says the last Good News Friday, which means like it sounds like you might have been knowing that you were leaving YouTube.
Video. I mean, maybe there's something that we don't know
I've never
about,
heard of
but
being banned from posting on YouTube.
But the video's still being up.
What I think is happening is looking at these numbers. They're not good.
You know the official story about the world that...
These numbers are really, really bad. He has very little views. Where was that one list? It's like his...
Sort by,
that's right. If you look... newest. If you look, his stuff's not getting... The majority of the stuff is getting less than 700 views.
So it seems to be a similar situation as to the Stefan Molyneux thing.
But Adam didn't lose his channel, which is a surprise and strange. He didn't lose his channel during the purge. But his viewership is really, really, really bad. Which is funny because I used to always think that maybe he only had maybe less, like 1,000 diehard fans. It was kind of like it was like an inside joke. But it almost seems like that's true, at least. Maybe, I would say maybe a few thousand fans really anymore. Even though he's got almost 260,000 subscribers, his viewership is really not good. And if you go in and look at the live streams, which a lot of these are almost all live streams, there's not that many people going in them. And it's really hard to keep a YouTube page going without Facebook. And Adam left Facebook a few years back in a whirlwind of... it was like in controversy for some strange stuff that happened with Adam hiring or attempting to hire some hackers to destroy the life of some troll that Adam had on Steemit, because Adam was when Steemit came out and Steemit was popping last bull run, Adam made a lot of money on Steemit, but then the market tanked and that money all went away. So as that money was going away, Adam had this troll that was just trolling the shit out of him. So Adam saw it as he's losing money because this dude is trolling him on Steemit, when really it was the market tanking. And so Ben Farmer, Adam's campaign manager at the time, because Adam was running for president, attempted to hire a hacker, and the hacker outed him, which is super funny. And so everybody was like, well, what happened, Adam? And Adam vanished from Facebook and never said anything about it. So, and from looking over, I don't know, he's making videos with like these dude, like this dude looks like he's from Duck Dynasty. That guy looks like Saddam Hussein. Like, and it's like over and over again, he's doing videos with these random dudes, and I don't know, it's just, he looks really sick.
What I'm wondering is that if, like the Stefan Molyneux situation, him claiming he's banned is just him being unhappy with the numbers, and he just, I must be shadow banned because I'm not getting better numbers.
Adam
when
says,
really it's like, your content's just
I'm
not
banned
getting very
from
good
posting
numbers.
on YouTube? No. Like, you can post. Your channel's still there.
Right? Or the only thing I can think of is just, you mean shadow banned? Like, he's just like, just people are not finding my...
I think he's saying shadow ban.
Yeah.
But that's not...
He's just using that as an excuse for not getting...
I know YouTubers that are way gnarlier than Adam, and they don't get demonetized. Yeah. They don't get shadow banned. They're getting tons of views. So it doesn't really make sense. Outside of, like Stefan Molyneux, Adam constantly alienates his viewers, and has since the dawn of time. If Adam hadn't, self-destructed annually,
where do you even start?
Yeah,
and
where do you even start?
Ran for president, became, went against what his original, principles and values that were preached, and
Same
what
thing.
his loyal core fan base followed him for through the years. No, like, you lose that
you
when
lose.
You do shit like running for president and,
it's just not a
statist
stunt.
manner.
And it was Adam trying to grab for a larger viewership. It's going after, well, the Ron Paul movement was only so big, and I was only able to make so much money from them. They all hate me now because because of my reputation, in general, and then the fact that I flip-flopped and tried to go run for president, and he doxed some kid. No, he talked to the kid's parent. Like, he was talking shit to this child, the kid of the person he was trying to screw over. He was talking shit to the kid, their kid, being all like, "Oh, your parents are sketchy," and all this shit, super nasty shit.
Yeah.
So,
no bueno.
So he lost his original core group. This 259,000. 200 of those are probably, freedom movement, liberty movement people that only know him because of that.
But,
the rest of it is like RT era stuff, probably, that are just, worthless, really. So, you can't get over 1,000 views.
I mean, if you sort his videos by most popular,
he hasn't had a top 100 video in 3 years. So he hasn't had a video that has gotten into his top 100 videos in 3 years. So the content's obviously really bad.
Years.
He's doing, this is all very, very old stuff.
Which is like fine or whatever, but it's just like, what this whole band thing, like, it seems this is all indicative. All the things we were talking about are indicative
the victim.
Of, this person is trying to paint themselves as this victim, as are the other character we were just speaking about. It's disingenuous. It's just not.
So this video, here is his biggest video he's put out in a while. And I guess it's the FBI visiting his spot, the Freedom Ranch, the Phillips Ranch. And it's just a very unusual video. Adam's barely recognizable physically and rhetorically. I don't know, I'll let you just watch.
Hey everybody, Adam Kokesh here in Gardenia, my property in the mountains in Arizona. Just coming out hanging out with our fur babies, and while we were walking around, saw a vehicle approach through a road to our back gate, and met these three individuals who agreed to be filmed, claiming to be FBI agents. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for at least agreeing to be recorded for this. And appreciate that. Do you mind showing your face, sir, if you're gonna show ID? And
you saw my ID. I mean, we got COVID and stuff.
Would you mind showing your ID for the camera here, for the record?
You've already seen our ID, sir.
I know. That's what I'm saying, for the record, for the camera here.
Well, you've already seen it, so we showed it to you.
So you're not willing to show your ID on camera?
Well,
is that what you're saying?
We showed it to you. I'm not gonna.
I'm asking you to show it for the camera. If you're denying that,
you know what? I'll do that for you.
That's fine, but do you mind getting a close up here?
No, you can't do that.
So can I close up and with my eyes actually see your name and face and everything? ID, it's pretty dirty. All right, so Trevor Colbert, special agent.
Yes.
Okay, and y'all.
Well, again, you've already seen their IDs.
Well, flash, very briefly.
He showed you his.
Don't worry, I'm not as vicious as they look. Yeah, that's Thelma
had a question regarding some of the stuff.
So my question to you, sir, is:
Right.
Is this you in this photograph by chance?
So, I hope y'all appreciate
This
this
is
is
good.
as ridiculous as my audience does. This sounds like a prank. I'm still not convinced that you're FBI agents from that, just so you know. Like, this is just too funny. You're showing me a picture of someone at the Capitol riot of January 6th of this year.
Yes.
And it's a picture from Slate.com because it's a dude with a beard who looks vaguely like me that says, Trump is my president
Cat
on his
just, like,
t-shirt.
Screaming
I
at
don't
them.
think it's
I am not now, nor have I ever been a Trump
Jesus Christ.
supporter. I did a show here. I was actually, we've covered this extensively, but I was actually
Get it out!
nowhere near DC on January 6th. Are you guys just here as FBI agents checking
So do you
a
think
box
this
on
is
some
real?
ridiculous, huge administrative thing that you just gotta like? Someone said this might be Adam, so you gotta.
I don't know,
go
maybe
in
I just-
person and do that. Is that
It's an
really-
odd video to me.
Yeah, by an online rumor.
I didn't think it was you,
Okay.
but because we had the photograph, I had to come out and confirm it with you that it was in fact not.
So because a rumor and a political activist looks vaguely like another political activist. And this is a friendly, this is the extent of your visit and questions for me at this point?
Yes, for me, yes.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
Wow. Yeah.
Crazy time to be alive.
Anything else you guys can share with me, on the record, off the record, about your thoughts about this would be very much appreciated.
Don't have any thoughts on it, just following up on what someone said. So,
Because you got to check a box of an extensive investigation
Gotta
or
do
something
due
like that.
diligence.
Yeah. Wow. Well, so where are y'all stationed?
out of Phoenix.
So Phoenix FBI field office.
Yep.
And you have nothing to do with the bigger investigation. They just called you to follow these leads up here in Arizona.
Yeah, 'cause everything happened back in DC, so
Right on. Okay.
it goes all around the country.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the drive out here.
At least it was pretty dry, huh?
Probably the hardest logistically to find for a silly question like this. Yeah.
And again, we tried to reach you telephonically.
Yeah. Well, in the you're not allowed a text message. I take it then because my voicemail says text me. How'd you get my number?
I don't know how they got your number.
The FBI has my number. It's okay. I would expect no less. But yeah, don't be afraid of.
Poor
I
cat.
know that 3 socks here can be a very deadly shoulder-mounted assault kitten, but here in Gardenia territory, that's legal. I don't know about the rest of it.
Hey, actually, while we're up there, though, we were looking for. Whoa, man.
These
Wow.
cats, these are the scorpion cats of Gardenia.
Scorpion cats.
We have a video of the mother, the matriarch of this family, catching and eating a scorpion alive out here.
So they just have like cats just like constantly fucking breeding, just
all over
like.
the place.
Like Vallejo. Like yours.
He is here, actually.
Have just as ridiculous question to ask him, too. if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Why don't we just holler for him so we can just stay here and keep recording? Hey,
Strange. Oh my god.
Yeah. What happened?
It just reloaded. I think it's still going.
We're
Yeah.
still live.
Oh, it's because this is going. That's funny. We were supposed to do a video. We were gonna do Cantwell today, but we're doing Cantwell next week. That's funny that you say that. So I don't know. Like, this is just. It's
like a pattern we're
it's
seeing
like a
here with
pattern
these
of
people.
these activists that quit their day jobs and start chasing money. Their content goes to shit. They dilute their true message by putting out too much stuff. You can make 1 trillion videos and, if it's garbage, they're not going to get views. YouTube doesn't have some individual vendetta with you. Like I said, I know YouTubers that say horrific things on YouTube and keep their monetization and aren't getting shadow banned. Like, no one cares. If you've survived the purge, YouTube doesn't care about you. Adam survived the purge. They don't care what he's saying. They would have gotten rid of him. They would have taken down his page if he was truly banned. So, seems a little bit dishonest. He's pushing his stuff on what's it called, Odyssey and Library. He's only got 300 followers over there, and he's been pushing his Odyssey page for a long time. But I assume Adam made a bunch of money on Steemit, so he's thinking Odyssey's the next Steemit, and that he's going to be able to make a shitload of money over there. But it doesn't look like that's happening, because I don't think that many people are paying attention anymore. You know, it's like, who are these people? Over and over again, he's got all these randos. It's just like I don't know. I mean, you know, I hope the best for him, but it just doesn't look very good. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny to see, like you said, these patterns with people.
These activists.
These activists and just people, you know, in the limelight. Like, also, another video that we watched, which kind of, you know, reminded us in this realm, old friend Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Another guy who I would say, I mean, I used to watch JRE. I used to follow Joe Rogan. I would say he also, you know, he's so big now that it's kind of hard to see, but his original core fan base, you know.
And we've been watching a lot of Alex Jones videos of just Alex Jones on other people's podcasts and on Kill Tony. And Alex he's a sweet old teddy bear. You know, his show kind of...
On InfoWars,
InfoWars, it's whatever.
He's playing that character.
Yeah, but like, Alex is a funny dude. Yeah. A very kind seeming... I mean, I know this is all like... I know people who have worked for Alex, and I've heard some horror stories, but everyone can say that about almost anyone.
Yeah, and this is also relative to the people he's around and these podcasts, you know, relative to the people whose podcasts he's on, but...
And historic,
I was going to just say, relative to them, he's a pretty nice guy.
And, like, what has he really done? Like, yeah, he's a mouthpiece, and I'm sure he's, you know, he has his reasons for ignoring things and his reasons for covering certain things, and that he may be a bit of a disinfo artist, but, like, what is...
Yeah, and he may be controlled, you know.
It's kind of funny. I don't know. Like, he's just as time goes on, human, Alex doesn't seem like the villain he used to be. And then just I mean, if you go watch him on Kill Tony, which is a really interesting, you'll like the show anyway. It's a sketch. Well, it's a live podcast, but it's comedy, and you come up and you do comedy for a minute. Like anyone can really do a minute.
Random names out of a hat. People sign up in the audience.
I actually told the Kingsley and Aaron from Float that they should do a similar type format at Float Fest, because it would be really funny. But anyway, Alex Jones killed it on this show. He's funnier than any of the comedians.
By far
you know,
the
it
best
definitely
guest.
makes you think that he might be Bill Hicks, because he's so funny.
He's funny.
So
okay, that's
quick.
the other thing. He's legit funny. He's funnier than most of these people as well. Like most of these comedians.
On a comedy show, and Alex Jones is making everyone laugh more than anyone else. But anyway, so Alex's first two Joe Rogan podcasts went pretty well. They were definitely funny. The first one was whatever. The second one was really good. And then this one was just awful, because Joe was on his new podcast
after he moved to Austin.
And after he moved from YouTube to Spotify.
Yes, oh, that's
and
right.
And so he had to self-regulate and self-censor himself,
even more than he already did. Because he's Mr. I'm not, you know, and I'm not into conspiracies anymore, and he's flip-floppy depending on which guest he has. But even
it was
extra
sober October when this viewed. Joe was trying to be sober for the month, and obviously not having a very good time with it. So much so that he told Alex that he couldn't drink on the show, which is crazy. So you see when Alex walks in and sits down, he's obviously nervous because Alex is a drunk. And Alex definitely needs some
And
booze
he's a
to go on.
handful.
Yeah, and he's a handful.
And Joe doesn't like losing control of his podcast.
Yeah.
And he always does when Alex Jones is on.
Because Alex
loses
commands a lot of respect
He's a big
on a
personality,
podcast.
yeah.
And he's loud and he's big and he can out-talk anyone. So anyway, so we just wanted to, check this one out. And Tim Dillon's on this show.
Yes, oh yeah, that's right.
And
Alex
Tim
Jones.
really likes Alex, so
The Joe Rogan
Oh,
Experience.
so we can actually skip in a little bit to like 39 seconds. If you want. Or not.
Young Jamie. Good to see you back, buddy. We're a little worried about you.
so Jamie just had COVID, allegedly.
Not worried about you.
And so Joe says, I
Look.
right off the bat, Joe says, "Oh, Jamie, I was really worried about you because you had COVID." Then he looks at Alex Jones and says, "I'm not worried about you." Like, wow, dickhead! Not worried if Alex Jones dies.
Your friend?
Fucking dick.
Look at him.
This is the most anticipated thing I ever did. I probably had, no exaggeration, 2,000 or 3,000 people in the last year and a half ask me, when are you going back on Joe Rogan? And I'm always saying, I don't know. And then I learned you were moving here like 3-4 months ago, and now we're here. And this
Alex is excited that Joe's moved to Austin because he's probably like, hell, we'll be able to like
Podcast all the time.
yeah, and like wreck some shop.
And there's a shit ton of people who want
Who would
Alex
love
Jones
to
back
see
on
that.
this podcast.
Yeah.
Like that's genuine. I've seen the comments over the years. Same thing with Kill Tony. Everyone agreed. Alex Jones, best.
This
guest
Kill
on
Tony
Kill
show
Tony,
was
best
getting
guest on
awful numbers recently just because
Since-
it's been going on for so
No,
long.
Kill Tony also. Tony Hinchcliffe also moved to Austin. All these comedians are moving to Austin.
All
so
these comedians
again,
are moving to Austin.
ever since they moved to Austin, his show was also shit until Alex Jones came on.
Alex
He
Jones
it back.
brought that show back
Yeah.
from the dead. And Alex Jones had both of Alex Jones's appearances on JRE are like top 5 biggest podcasts.
Look at the numbers.
ever.
Yeah, the numbers
so
don't
like
lie.
it's so strange to see Joe act like this.
I don't get butterflies anymore, but I actually have them here, and this is great. It's good to have butterflies after about 20 years.
butterflies.
Didn't get it the last 2 times I was on. Didn't get it when I interviewed Trump. Didn't get it in a lot of things, but I've got butterflies here today.
And Tim motherfucking Dillon.
Yeah, I'm just a
Jeez,
kid
he
in a
doesn't
candy
even-
store. Me too. Thank you for making this dream come true.
Doesn't even say anything
This
to
is-
Alex like,
He
"Oh,
didn't
that's very
even
nice."
acknowledge.
Yeah.
It's what I've always wanted to do, and we've
That
made
was
it happen.
sounded
This is my
genuine,
Make-A-Wish.
like-
I can die happy.
Well, I'm happy you're here.
Yeah, I got my free Ghislaine shirt because I believe all women.
Just
Is that how you
lame.
say it?
It's. I think so. Yeah.
I thought it was
Ghislaine.
Ghislaine. I thought it was
It might be
Ghislaine.
Ghislaine.
It's Ghislaine.
Do you
Don't
know?
look at me. No, I don't.
Ghislaine?
It's Ghislaine.
Ghislaine? That's a ridiculous name.
Yeah.
Her father was a famous MI6 Mossad spy.
Do we jump
that
ahead?
reportedly used sex operatives to control people. He died before
Yeah,
he got
1411.
in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And of course, she got caught in that
So he
farmhouse
starts
on the
going.
East
You
Coast.
know, you know
Any
Alex
money
Jones.
I want, but I got to do what they say.
But it would put him in a compromised position.
Yes, but I'm being honest about it. The vacuum and the blind spot is that then everyone around him in his cabinet and everyone that works there, even down to mid-level people,
What was this one?
are now getting multi-million-dollar contracts for
So-
companies
Joe
like
starts
AT&T
fact-checking.
and stuff, just to
Yeah, Joe starts fact checking.
He's Alex
Hold on,
Jones.
before you-
He's been spitting, he's spitting
usual
facts,
shit.
and he's just really good at remembering
So
stuff.
Joe thinks it's funny too that he's going to fact check everything that Alex says.
You'll see. Well, not just
It's
that, but like
so
he's a
fucking
dick about it
obnoxious.
too. Like,
Yeah.
and let's just, by their words, like they're supposed to be friends. Like in
Yeah.
real life, they've known each other for a long time. But this is sober Joe
Yeah.
being a freaking
He's
dick.
having to smoke a cigar to get a little bit of a head rush.
Yeah.
You know.
He's not
Wait,
drinking,
wait,
he's
You
not
said
smoking.
AT&T. Has it been proven that it's AT&T, or are you just saying AT&T like companies? Like
Let's
large
just say,
companies?
I'm not saying AT&T is bad. I think AT&T is overall a good
So,
company.
but is AT&T doing something bad?
No, I was mentioning that as a Fortune 500 company.
Okay, but it's not AT&T.
No, it's not AT&T.
So we shouldn't say that. See, this is why you need someone that's like a fact checker right
well,
next
no,
to you.
no.
Going, slow down.
The media will say I'm wrong
right.
about that, but okay.
Okay, but
no,
it's-
hold on. His personal lawyer, the one that ended up going to jail, actually, Michael Cohen was getting money from AT&T. Go ahead and pull it up. I mean, I was just trying to give you a gestalt, quick
I understand.
analysis.
But I just want to. I've told you before. What you really need on your show is like a legit journalist
So this
who's
is-
right next to you with a laptop. Going,
This is him.
Alex,
He's still
hold
not
on,
even being
hold
that
on."
mean right now. So
Yeah.
1920. he's being somewhat, but still, he doesn't let Alex Jones talk.
I think that's beautiful.
His dad went to prison for, I believe, setting up his brother with like a prostitute.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're a fun family, the Kushners.
Wait a minute. The dad set up the brother
with a prostitute, with a call girl, and take them and try to entrap.
Step by step. We're gonna fact check everyone.
No,
So-
this is well known.
So Joe's like, hold up. I'm gonna stop the flow of the podcast so I can ask Jamie to fact check every single fucking thing that comes up.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Which is fine. But you gotta have some sort. I mean, why? It's like, why even have Alex Jones on the way
if you're just gonna...
he treats him like a fucking dick.
And it's not like Joe knows this stuff and he's busting him on it. He's having Jamie look it up. Like, it's not even like it's like.
But we need to have this for the
People like me and Alex don't just spout off. We have
Yeah, and that is true. Like he's treating Alex like he just makes things up.
Yeah. When he's Alex Jones,
And Alex
I
walked
got the
into
documents.
I walked in with documents to talk to Joe about, and Joe doesn't even want to fucking look at him and like makes fun of him every time he shows
I know
him
you
to
have
him.
the facts.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure. Here, Chris Christie, Jared Kushner's father, committed one of the most loathsome, disgusting crimes I prosecuted. Wow.
Listen, we fact check all of this.
That is crazy.
He's like,
Make
yeah,
that
we.
bigger for my old
You'll
eye.
notice that Joe just does whatever he can to waste time and
Yeah,
not have
like why
Alex
are they
talk.
still looking at some?
Like he'll look at the
article,
article
like-
for way longer, or he'll read the whole thing, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Look at this.
dude,
Where does it say?
You're the
According
one
to the excerpts in the book republished by Axios and The Guardian, Christie claims the younger Kushner was behind his departure from Trump's inner circle after the 2016 election, writing that he was still apparently seething over the events that had occurred a decade ago. Well, what is the events of a decade ago?
They overprosecuted
Yeah, so like,
his
what
dad.
is he
should've
doing?
gotten,
Like, why is he still
should've
reporting
gotten
the
pro-
events of the decade? Like,
he's like, oh,
bro, yes, they're right.
I know you came in with a bunch of paperwork, but I'm just gonna look up some random article and read
On
the whole
Google.
thing, and
Yeah.
and it's gonna make it. It'll look like I'm busting you, even though
They
I'm
should've
not.
tried to set up
Like,
his brother with a hooker.
Yeah.
Said he got a bunch
so
of time.
lame.
Imagine
Yeah.
your dad setting you
So
up
if you
with
want
a
to jump
hooker.
ahead,
crazy.
30
Well,
minutes.
they're
you're
trying to
gonna-
set the other family
Okay.
member up.
Here's what
30 minutes flat. Yeah.
Well, they always say I get money from oil companies. I'm not. But can I please tell you what's going on?
yes, please do.
He's like, please let
you
me
are
talk.
a carbon-based life form. Let me show you what I came here with in my notes. I have right here in my notes the carbon conspiracy. And that is specifically what I wanted to get into here with you in my notes, because this is everything.
Are you a climate change denier?
Well, see, imagine how that's how they use that term.
Right.
Are you a climate change denier? It's like a 9/11 denier.
Right.
No, the towers got blown up. Our government had prior warning, and they've been funding Al Qaeda, and all that came out later in Senate reports and the 28 pages.
Let's not go there just now because we're going to go down a rabbit
Well,
hole.
that's true. But let's go to questions.
Let's just not. I'm on
We don't wanna talk about
Spotify
that.
now. Okay,
We
I
don't wanna
need my
talk about that.
Spotify money. We can't talk about that on this show. Like,
Yeah,
what?
that-
Can't
I
talk
agree.
about 9/11 on JRE? What the hell? Since when?
I know Joe Rogan. I know Joe Rogan as a libertarian who was representing Ron Paul in
God.
2012, going on Jay Leno wearing a Ron Paul shirt. Like, this
Yeah,
is so
questioning
weird
the
for me.
moon landing and
Yeah,
stuff, like with
so
Eddie.
weird.
Like, yeah.
Like, he was the conspiracy guy. Period. There were
He's-
no Sam Tripoli's. There were no like any of these
Yeah,
other
no, it
guys.
was-
Like,
that was the original
it was
one.
it was Joe and Alex literally for a
Agree with
decade.
you there.
Okay, what is Joe Rogan made up out of?
Carbon.
Okay.
Carbon-based life form.
What are-
we are
I
literally
don't think this
starting.
was.
What are
It's a song.
So yeah,
Exactly.
they're
What are
gonna
trees
go
made?
off. So
the whole so just like if he grows up wants to be a St. Anders.
Okay.
Be
So this-
fucking ass.
Joe-
Hold on.
Joe's getting-
Let's not go down that road. If you want to go down that road in the future,
no,
we will.
no,
But
no,
right
I'll do it,
now,
I'll do it. Let me
I
tell you.
want-
He's
I
getting
want you to
mad.
talk about
Joe's
carbon.
getting
I
mad.
know.
I don't want to get off track
Carbon.
because isn't there
Don't
a
talk about
delicate
9/11.
balance with the temperature on Earth and the rising sea levels and the
So
melting of the ice
52
caps?
minutes.
This has all been established by a lot
No,
of
they
very
say-
He really
they say
gets
the
Joe
scientists
gets
say all the
simmering
time.
and starts getting
very
more and
concerned
more
environmentalists
sassy.
have said that an increase in the temperature of the Earth could be disastrous for
Power
human
grab.
civilization.
It's power grab. It's deep ice.
Blah, blah,
Boring.
blah, blah, blah.
I think Alex's point is that in all of these things, there are legitimate things. That, COVID has there are real things. People are getting sick. Global warming, to an extent, I'm sure is happening. Of course, it's happening. But then there are also nefarious characters that want to use that to take away your freedom. There are
Tim's
people
like,
that
come
don't
on,
want
Joe.
you
Yeah,
This
owning
is
like-
cars.
supposed to be
So
fun.
simple.
This is not
Legacy
fun
system.
right
So
now.
simple,
You're
and
not
Joe
being
just
a fun
doesn't
guy.
get it.
Like, yeah, like this is not like we're all supposed to be friends here having a conversation on a podcast.
It was like the last videos we watched last week with where Brendan Schaub had to come in and be like, bro, this is actually a pretty fun conversation, Joe. Like, why are you getting so upset?
Of all people, Brendan Schaub
had to come in and be the voice of fucking reason.
Out, Joe. Yeah. Ay.
Webb, as a journalist who came on my show, said a lot of people didn't want to reopen the economy until they remade the economy and got rid of all these legacy systems. And this is a doc with Eric Schmidt, who was the head of Google, and you could look it up. And they were saying, they were considering these legacy systems like cash, private ownership of cars, things like that, like getting rid of all of these things that are distinctly American ways of life, and just saying that, we don't want you to own a car.
This is the most important thing that's been said here today.
Yeah.
It's in my notes.
That's why I'm here. One step at a time, though. Why would they
just shuts him down. Don't say those things. I don't want people to think this is important.
Because they want control of people, and if you allow them to drive their own cars and use cash and run their own businesses and live in their own homes.
But let's start with cars.
Oh my God!
Let's start with cars. Don't you think that maybe the concern is they're looking at the future of autonomous vehicles, which would drastically lower the mortality rate on highways, and they're saying,
you dumb son of a bitch.
Other countries to doing this,
okay,
to doing that.
Stop.
They want centralized.
No. Stop.
Steve Wozniak, the founder of Apple, says the best AI is not as good as an ant's brain.
Hold this thought.
Yeah,
but hold this thought.
The mortality rate on highways.
Listen, you can't think that the people
woods with hoods on.
But the people at Google that are working on autonomous vehicles, they're not the same people that are trying to control governments all outside the world.
But it's controlled by those guys.
All of those people at Google want to usher in a brave new world. They want to remake the world in the way that they want to.
All these people, some of them are just writing software to make a better.
Joe, you dumbass.
Joe, I wrote down
semantics. No, you're the voice of freaking idiot,
he
dude.
just said, I feel like I'm the
voice of reason.
No, you're the voice of trying to fucking regulate what's being said on your show that's on Spotify. That
he thought Tim Dillon would dumb Alex down or something, but they're both actually very articulate dudes, and Joe's just not even wanting to hear any of it.
Joe, utopian.
Alex is fed up. You see that? Alex is like, oh boy,
I should be high.
They're utopians.
Look at the stack.
You're very combative, Joe.
Stack of stuff.
He's all
you hear that?
Right.
Alex says you're being very combative.
He did?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the fucking voice of reason. How is this possible?
Joe,
you know why?
Utopians.
I'm not high. I should be high.
They're
I'd be right along with you.
Yeah, you're very combative, Joe.
And he is.
Wow.
And Alex doesn't want to make a big deal about it. That was a pretty nice way of saying it.
Joe?
Hey, you're being combative. Because if someone tells you you're being combative, you're going to think about it in your head. And you're probably going to try and calm down. But look, Joe leans back. He's like, this is what I wanted. I just wanted blah, 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 blah.
Joe, I brought you
through control.
I brought you the documents, Joe.
We have the documents.
I'm sucking the cigar like it's a jelly donut. I'm hoping I get to the weed on the inside.
Hey, Joe.
I'm licking the outside. What do you got there? A piece of paper?
Yeah, see?
What do you got there?
Marginalize what he
Piece of
brought.
paper?
A piece of paper? Ooh. I don't want to see that.
What does it say?
Yeah, Alex, here you go.
I think it's confirming what I
Looking
just
forward
said.
to the end of humanity. What is this?
See?
Okay, but it's a person who wrote this.
Alex is
Adam
I'm
Kirsch.
not going to say shit then. I'm just going to hand you a piece of paper. You're not going to listen
She's
to me.
probably got a pistol in his mouth right now.
No, that's the Wall Street Journal cover story.
I don't really mean that, Adam. I apologize.
What a bitch! Oh my god. So Joe Rogan kind of lets it slip, makes a little joke. Oh, what? This author probably has a gun in their mouth, blah, 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 blah. And he realizes, oh, wait,
I probably
I'm on
shouldn't
Spotify.
have said that.
I can't talk about,
sorry about that, man.
I really hope some reporter that I don't know or care about. I really hope you don't commit suicide or whatever the fuck you just said. But Joe Rogan is sold out 100% now. It's
what a douche.
It's cringe.
See?
Okay, but it's a person who wrote this. It's Adam Kirsch. He's probably got a pistol in his mouth right now.
It's a person who wrote this.
He's got a
what does that even mean?
That's the Wall Street Journal cover story.
I don't really mean that, Adam. I apologize.
That's the Wall Street Journal cover story. May I please?
He looks at Jamie.
Oh
God!
This isn't going well.
You came here for a reason?
Yes.
Hold on. Here it is. COVID-19 has spotlighted the promise and peril of transhumanism, the idea of using technology to overcome sickness, aging, and death. Okay, but what is he saying?
I used to fall asleep every night listening to Alex
an
talk
article.
about this, so I want to let Alex talk about this.
Until they took him off YouTube.
Okay, but make this.
He was the way I fell asleep every night.
Not only did they do that, but do you know they fucking took a Young Turks podcast, Young Turks hoax podcast.
Let's talk about that in a minute. Can we get some weed in the
Oh my God.
Shilling for the Young Turks? Are you freaking kidding
Alex,
me, Joe?
To Alex,
That's
and
insulting, yeah.
and Homeboy are like
They,
arch nemesis.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, can I fucking finish
You know
a
they
goddamn
took-
thing I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
Joe Rogan?
They took a Young Turks, whatever, on Facebook.
Sleep every night.
Not only did they do that, but do you know they fucking took a Young Turks podcast, Young
took
Turks
it off.
hoax podcast.
Let's
yesterday
talk about
off
that
of
in a minute.
Facebook.
Can we get some weed in the
As Joe is censoring Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Podcast, Young
took
Turks
it off.
hoax podcast.
Listen,
Let's talk
Alex.
about that in a minute.
Facebook.
Can we get some weed in the
Progressive.
Can we get some weed in you?
No, you need it.
No, I can't.
If I blow it at you, you got a cat high? Does that not cheat it if I blow it in your face?
I can't do it.
I'll blow it in your face.
I can't do it.
It's like, please.
Alex is like sick of Joe being a fucking
God.
asshole, and he's like, dude, you need to get high or something. Like,
Andy has enough sense to be like, all right, I gotta throw something funny in here because
Yeah.
this is just like this
Yeah.
is not a
This is
fun
painful.
podcast. Like,
Kind of hot for a cigar.
it
Well,
hurts to watch this thing.
yeah.
Listen, I need to talk to you.
A little lightheaded.
All right, I'm gonna go get some apple juice, and I'm gonna pray to Jesus.
We got some in here. I
Listen,
believe.
listen. I need to talk to you.
Just go grab,
get
go
him,
grab some bottles and some ice.
get him some apple juice for the transhumanism discussion, please.
Listen, you want to know why I'm so crazy?
No.
Because I discovered this stuff right out of mainline documents, and I've known it for 26 years, 27 years.
Well, here's another thing. Let me tell you something.
Oh my God.
We all know that you fucked some things up, right? And your biggest.
Why did he just interrupt him to say that?
Sandy Hook. But you've gotten so many things right. And this is why I keep talking to you about these things and why I defend you and why I think that it's fucking dangerous to censor you and to say, oh, this guy, we need to get him.
Why is he saying this right now? He's in the middle of trying to tell you something.
Things
He hasn't let him say a fucking word.
that have been
Word
proven
salad.
on the show so far to be true that make people very uncomfortable.
Well, the first thing I was going to do was thank you for having me on and have the courage.
But I was going to say the fucking Bohemian Grove thing. The Bohemian Grove thing.
That was That was the first time I really got into what he was doing, and that was like
Oh my God,
amazing.
you guys.
I mean, when you
He's like, I need to take a sip of water. There's so much.
We need to
more
get you back on
important stuff.
Bohemian Grove. That's the most pointless freaking thing that affects no one
Let's
and
not
nothing.
talk about relevant information. Let's talk about Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove. When everyone got the phone call from the powers that be, they told them, "Ooh, focus on the Bohemian Grove and the Bilderberg."
Dude.
Bilderberg.
How many more
Bilderberg.
times do we
Bohemian
need it?
Grove.
This is old.
Pointless.
This is
Focusing
pointless.
on
Like,
politicians that aren't
misdirection.
real politicians. These people are actors in a reality TV show that's called the American political system. They're not even real. And so any type of, oh, let's look at what Hillary Clinton's doing at this meeting, like, it's absolute distraction. And anyone who peddles
absolutely.
this shit is a disinfo artist, which Joe Rogan is.
And Alex Jones.
Stop
is trying-
talking about real stuff, Alex.
Yeah.
Talk about the one thing you did that's kind of whatever.
Right, real and current relevant.
You're
stuff.
wrong about Sandy Hook, and let's focus
And
on
let's
Bohemian
let's
Grove.
talk about Bohemian Grove. Let's
Yeah.
not talk about the stuff
Pointless.
you're talking about. Like, yeah, that involves
watch
right
that.
now.
You know, it's paradigm shift.
I've had people
This is
try
wild.
to
Yeah.
minimize that. I've had people try
Yes,
to.
they all do.
I go, listen to me. I'm not a billionaire.
Well, I'll give you
We
the real
all
take
know
on it
about
because I've been
Bohemian
there, and I think it's just a gateway to things. But let's get into Bohemian Grove in a moment. I really want to give you, I want to give you the big enchilada.
The big enchilada. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
like
like
I'm,
mole sauce.
yes, sir. Just like I love mole sauce. I do too. Just like I'm saying, the engineers, and meanwhile, a lot of them have good points. I'm not saying they're wrong about all this stuff. I'm simply telling you, I've read what the globalists have to say in their own establishment communication.
Okay.
And I have it right here in my notes to talk to you about the post-human era and the system that they are setting up, where in all of their main publications they say humans are flawed, humans are bad.
But they are flawed, right?
But then these corporations are saying they're going to take us out of our bodies and make us silicon.
Let it play. Give it a
That's what
second.
Elon Musk talks about. Beware of those that worship AI gods.
Well, he's actually talking about Neuralink, which is something where they're going to be able to interface with your brain and increase.
Actually,
let me tell you, because I know Elon, and he told me.
And
I can tell you
I'm gonna
directly
say you're
what
wrong,
he's talking
but
about.
I'm talking about the same thing.
Blah 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 blah.
Well, that's it. And
But
so,
it seems inevitable, doesn't it?
no, it's not inevitable. Already, driverless cars don't know a wreck up ahead or what to do. They have more accidents. Steve Wozniak, as I was
All
saying
right, so
earlier,
let's
co-founder of Apple,
things
says
get a little
the
interesting
best
here.
AI
Oh,
is
here
in
it
a million
comes.
percent, close to how good an ant's brain
Right.
is.
Stop.
Why?
When they first developed cars, they said, well, how are you going to take them? There's no roads.
Sure, AI
They
power.
built roads.
Here's the
But
deal.
you understand that the AI that's powering these cars now is not
Do
as
you
good.
understand the people
Hold
running
on.
the AI are predatory anti-humans that say they want to get rid of us?
Musk is not a predatory anti-human.
No, I didn't
Oh,
say he was.
But I
fuck
understand
yeah.
he's working on autonomous vehicles.
He said,
Are you
We
fucking
need
kidding
to
me?
clip that. We need to clip that.
Holy shit.
Don't you dare talk about Elon Musk.
Don't talk about Elon.
about
He's not pushing fucking Star
He
Trek
wasn't
socialism.
okay, he wasn't even directly referencing Elon, but Joe brought it up. Like,
That's
Elon
my
is
friend.
not. Yeah.
Nyeh.
beware those that speak of AI gods.
Yes. Okay, a lot of people are worried that, look, Elon is more concerned. Don't give me one of those. You keep that shit away from me, motherfucker.
So,
Red Band.
when Alex showed up, he gave Red Band a bottle of booze and was like, "Hey, when I tell you, bring it out," because he wanted to drink, obviously,
Yeah.
and knows that it's not going to be, the sober October thing isn't going to work.
He doesn't
I'm
drink.
good, thank you. I
He's
appreciate it.
sober.
Hey, Rogan.
All this extra
I'm sitting next to Alex Jones. I'm as high as I can be.
Election night.
Okay, but listen. Election night, we're gonna get lit.
Joe can't handle looking at the booze being sober.
But
He's so angry.
these guys
Look at him
who
looking
are
at it. He's staring at it.
making this
Look at
stuff-
Hollywood. This is fake.
He's
This is
staring
only,
at the
corn
booze.
syrup coloring.
Do you think this is a good idea, though? This idea that we should be expanding our minds in this way and putting chips in
I
our...
don't think it's good or bad. I think it is the
Okay.
nature of human innovation. I think we take things,
Hey, Joe-
we improve upon them. We do that with everything.
But at what point do you
At
cross
one
the
point
line?
in
Joe, you're
time-
talking
at
about-
one point-
Joe, can I please tell
please,
you?
No, one at a time. At one
He
point in
needs
time,
weed.
there was.
He needs weed.
And Morse code, right? They went from Morse code to you being able to send me a FaceTime video.
Understood.
Well,
You gonna
these
poop
things
me?
happen.
Hey, Joe,
This
we're
is
not
just
against
part of being
technology.
humans.
We're not against technology.
But okay,
May
I
please say
understand
something?
you're not against technology, but what I'm saying is, if you follow technological innovation, it becomes better and better and more and more
We get what you're trying to say, Joe.
invasive.
We
And
need to
as-
design it where it doesn't make us obsolete. Humans take control of their environment. We build our environment. The globalists have decided to have a post-human future where humans are
This
no
is
longer
where you-
relevant.
This is where you lose me.
I can
When
show you
start
their
saying
damn quotes.
globalists.
But he's getting me because
I just gave you an article. I just gave you an
Years
article
and
where they
years
said
getting
it.
me. Because I think he's right. I think the only reason we're still around is because they haven't figured out how to get robots good enough to get rid of all of it. If they had the right robots, there would be no Walmarts to
Exactly.
get rid of everybody. You don't think that?
If they were the right robots,
The
they'd
right
get rid
They're
of
AI.
everything.
making us
Yeah.
obsolete. They're making
They're
us
trying
obsolete.
to get rid of the
If
Walmart.
I need a fucking cooler, I like to go to Walmart. Is that okay?
But once you have a
Look at
robot,
his
you won't want to go to
fucking
Walmart.
face.
Why?
Because it's dirty, it's filthy. Everyone's got
No.
COVID.
I listen to
Yeah, that's
music.
why they're doing
I
the
get in
COVID
my
is the post-human.
electric car.
You're not essential under COVID. They
Not
want
essential.
They want to train you. Okay, listen. Look how calculators were great. No one knows.
So
how to do
Alex
math now.
starts
Look
drinking.
how phones are great.
Yeah.
No one knows their numbers.
Joe,
anymore. All
you
the
know,
statistics
trying
show
to keep
that science and
control.
technology is making us dumb.
137.30.
And that's why they wrote the big article. The co-owner of Sun Microsystems in 2000, Bill Joy wrote, "Why the Future Doesn't Need Us."
37.30.
Trying to do good, and I think they think
That's
they
good.
are. Theology. If you're not compliant, they keep moving what's acceptable and what constitutes racism, sexism, classism,
Right.
homophobia, transphobia.
It's a power grab.
But they keep changing it. And
They move the line all the
Orwell
time.
talked
Yeah.
about this in 1984.
Yeah.
He
So
was like,
Orwell. So this is Joe trying to be like,
To
no,
sound
I'm
like
still,
old Joe.
Yeah, I'm still fringe. I'm still gonna point out the powers that be, but just with this generic, the Orwell reference, he's not. It's the same old shit, but this is Joe trying to come around
Putting
and
the
be
least
like,
amount of effort into sounding like he used to.
yeah, and
If you
trying
bait-
to talk to that audience again.
and all the words. If all you will literally you will
mad.
you will change
Look at how mad he is.
Yeah, like he's not having a good time.
angry.
thoughts. because you can't have all the. I forget Orwell's words on
reducing language. He said what they want to reduce the language where no one's even able to communicate, and that's the goal. So we think of it as a leftist thing that's out of control. No, this is a science.
I paraphrased it and I fucked it up. But the point is, what they didn't see, they didn't use hindsight. They didn't.
It's called ingsoc.
Well, what they did. It's so hard to talk with you. What they didn't do is they didn't look to where this goes. They didn't look to where this goes. They didn't understand. They didn't extrapolate. They didn't say.
Or maybe some of them did, and some of them
but
wanted to go
if
where
you
it's
start,
going.
if you start censoring, there's a real. And I know people are saying no. You should censor people that say terrible things because they influence our children, and you can't.
But Joe, it's a power grab. They get off. Once they've got one scalp, they're going to scalp everybody, including themselves.
I understand that's the motivation of the people that are doing it. That's not what I'm concerned with. What I'm concerned with is the problem itself. Because you keep finding a new target. You keep finding a new person who's doing something that's incorrect.
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to give up.
So he's talking about free speech, bringing down free speech, but he is restricting his own free speech by
appeasing.
He's on Spotify now. Yeah, as we've seen.
Majorly.
So him spouting off about, free speech, it's like a
completely
projection.
Hypocritical.
Yeah, and it's hypocritical because, Joe, you're self-censoring.
And you're currently censoring Alex Jones by fucking butting in on him every 2 seconds and not letting him get anything out, which is funny.
It's hilarious,
Look how mad he is.
And it's odd because he's trying to give this speech and come off a certain way, and so Alex is agreeing with him. Yeah. He's looking at Alex like he's disagreeing, and he's like, "It's so hard to talk with you." It's like, man, you're not having a good time, and it's obvious.
They want more.
Look, looks like they're trying to grab power. It's that you're always trying. Look, you've started a game.
Yeah, but
They're losers and want to control reality because they're projecting their own hatred of themselves on us.
You don't think part of it is that they want power to control the discussion?
There's most certainly a part
that's busted. Like, wait, you don't think they want power?
You just said I'm hard to deal with.
Well, because you talk over people. When they're talking, you don't let them get the full.
You've been talking a lot.
You don't let people get a full thought out. They're in Tim doesn't.
Joe, stop projecting, Joe.
How the censors are good.
What I was saying is he's talking and you jump in, and the problem is I know you have.
It's because he's cutting Tim Dillon off.
It's just Joe's in his little world, and he's around people.
Coming out of the other person.
Okay, explain to me how the censors are loving people. That's what you're trying to do.
Not saying they love people. I'm saying they're not looking at it correctly. Because the way they're looking at it, they think they're doing a good thing, and they're going to usher forth some utopian world of communication where people are only saying the things they agree with. The problem with that is you don't find out who's right unless you get everybody talking.
But I agree.
Everything Joe's said is
you can't have an echo chamber. It's dangerous. Echo chambers are dangerous. And
it just works out. It's just works out. Like has no point to what he's saying. He keeps jumping around.
And they're also
and he's mad that everyone doesn't understand.
Because if you don't comply with the rules that they've set forth, then you get banned. So you comply, and you
that's what you're doing.
You find people. It is a cult. Ideologically.
Talk like this.
Listen, it is a cult.
Joe.
I think there's a lot of these cults.
Joe, what I'm trying to say to you is you've never been not smoking weed with me on air.
I know, it's a bummer. We should have had you come in a week.
You're angry, you're upset.
But I wanted you to be on before the election and the shit.
Who do you think's going to win, by the way?
Donald Trump is going to win.
You think so?
But then the Democrats are going to contest it. We're going to have the 79 days of
hell. But why are all the polls showing that Joe Biden is in the lead? Do you think it's all bullshit?
Just like last time they said Hillary was going to win.
Yeah, but these are the post-election polls.
Joe, what I want to do is talk to you right now.
Why are you talking like that?
He's like he's a conspiracy phone sex operator.
Talk about what a sexy man you are right now.
He's the only one here drunk. This is a real problem.
I'm channeling Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon's.
That's not how Tim Dillon talks.
Tim Dillon's looking at you right now.
Do you really think that Trump is going to win? Because it's close.
He's going to win big.
Interesting.
Really?
But
they're going to think that.
But they're going. Listen, I was not trying to interrupt you earlier.
Well, this is how you talk. It's okay. You're.
You talk. Joe, you've talked twice as much in our last 4-hour podcast. I love it. This is the sober Joe Rogan. Let's get back to this.
Trump.
What were we arguing about?
No, not Trump.
I don't know, but you were saying that we weren't arguing.
He was saying that the censors.
I was agreeing with you.
Some of the censors are trying to do the right thing.
Yes.
and that you were saying, listen, it's deeper than that, and then that's where we left off.
Yeah, it's all been scientifically set up. They always say, we're for outliers now and dog whistles. It's all about normalizing centralized control. Big tech knows it's psychological algorithms. It's totally destructive. China.
Right there.
Archive.org, I found. I went to the second page of this link, but this is like scenario narratives. It says lockstep. It talks about pandemics from 2012 and the SARS and all sorts
Lockstep,
of
Operation
H1N1.
Lockstep.
So I skipped into the next page just while you guys were talking. And this is the part that's a little strange, which is getting into what I think he is now talking
Where is that? Can you highlight it?
It started here because it says something about Kenya in 2025 and people
I don't know what
being
they're
weary
talking
of top-down.
Okay, by 2025, people seem to be growing weary of so much top-down control and letting leaders and authorities make choices for them. Wherever national interest clashed with individual interest, there was conflict. Sporadic pushback becomes increasingly organized and coordinated as disaffected youth and people who have seen their status and opportunities slip away, largely in developing countries, incited civil unrest. By 2026, protesters in Nigeria brought down the government. Fed up with the entrenched cronyism and corruption, even those who like the greater stability and predictability of this world began to grow uncomfortable and constrained by so many tight rules and by the strictness of national boundaries.
Like Ben
The feeling
Shapiro.
lingered that sooner or later something would inevitably set the need order.
Ben Rogan.
Okay, I haven't read that, but that's the other stuff. It's in there. It's thousands of pages.
Okay.
It talks about global police state.
People are saying,
they're writing it almost like
I have never seen that part. I'm just saying it says stuff like that.
But listen, look at the ideas like the EU, right? It's a supranational financial architecture. People are saying that borders are racist. People are saying that the idea of America is racist. The country is, is I get what you're saying. It's just that.
Any of your emotions for that?
No, I know that it's
I'm so tired.
Give up your body for the silicon gods and become a god.
This is all fun and games, but like legit.
We're not even. I mean, in California, we're not even allowed to go to Applebee's. So let's stop with the spaceship. I'm not allowed to leave my phone.
No shit, brother.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get a spaceship eventually. Let's
no
get a few
shit.
I already got your thing. I'm coming here election night. You're drinking on me. Election night.
Election
top
night.
ratings. 25 billion viewers.
Listen, you invited yourself to this. I think you should settle down.
Wow.
You told me I'm coming.
No, you invited yourself. We already
didn't start coming.
No, I said you could come in for a little bit, but you're making it the Alex Jones show.
No, I'm not.
It's a bit of an issue.
This is like
election
It's a bit of an
special.
issue.
Apple
It's a bit of
juice.
an issue. Settle down.
It's a bit of an issue.
It's going to be a fun experience.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But
So quit being so mean.
Quit being so mean.
Just straight up. Quit being so mean, dude.
It's going to be a fun experience.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But so quit being so mean. You literally.
No.
I think Joe.
Not at all. I'm not being mean at
No,
all.
I don't.
Yeah.
Listen, Alex, I love
Experience.
It'll be a lot of fun.
So
Sorry,
quit
one more
being
time.
so mean. You literally.
Am I being mean? No.
I think Joe.
Not
wants
at
to
all.
kick my ass right now.
No, I don't. Listen,
I think
Alex,
Joe
look,
wants to beat my ass.
What
right
I'm
now.
saying, and I'm not even disagreeing with you, I'm saying that I think when we're talking about aliens and we're talking about life forms from outer space and space travel and shit,
The big
you see
issues
them,
of the election.
you see those fucking things, like the
talking about
iconic
Easter bunnies?
aliens. They all have big
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah, the
and
Greys.
these
The
little
Greys.
tiny
What
muscleless
is he
bodies.
talking
Shaved
about?
heads. Shaved heads.
Yeah,
They're
they've all
Cheetos.
Like you.
escaped. They've escaped all of the.
You're
the
actually an
things
alien.
That make
Yeah.
us. They look like what we're gonna be.
One of the
What
big.
the fuck is Joe
One of the
talking about?
One of the big things that these people, the people that all got the phone call, were told the idea that there's a little green men flying around in space. This is a huge lie that's been perpetrated, and Joe and Alex actually agree on this one that UFOs might exist, and this is where you see, okay, that's where these guys got the same phone call and they're supposed to be pushing the same things, and that's the only reason they put these two together is to continue these few bits of disinformation that hold up massive untruths about our world.
Yeah. And of course, Joe brings it up. And
Yeah.
Joe spends
A
minutes
long time
at the end of this podcast
talking about little green men.
interrupting. Wait, no. They have little. No. They have bald heads. It's like, what?
The alien conspiracy
Waste
is a
of time.
conspiracy. It's one of the
Fucking
first
God, yeah.
huge bits of bullshit that the government's been forcing down our throats since
Yeah.
we were born.
Yeah, but who wants to be that?
I don't want to be that right now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm with you. I like being a person.
Right. I think we should be humans for as long as we can.
What do you think aliens are?
there are all sorts of interdimensional
Is this one we were
forces
watching?
in the universe and multi-dimensions. So there's like bad aliens that are trying to manipulate our development.
Pretty much.
Because
That's
a
the
high
end
level,
of the times.
exactly.
Pretty much.
A high level would not try to manipulate our development. Right. Okay. So Joe is like imprinting on these demons because he loves them. He's a bad person. No, seriously. All I'm saying is we need to build towards
truth and all fucking sarcasm.
What do you think of the?
And I did invite myself onto the election show.
It's going to be great.
I got on my news in front of Joe. I'll do it again right now.
What?
I'll get on my knees right now.
Stop making it about you.
No, it is about me.
Stop talking about you.
In front of Kokesh.
You're drunk.
I want to come on.
We're
Yes.
gonna ban you from alcohol. What do
I
you,
want to. You're going to smoke weed with me.
What do you think about?
We're going to have
I
a
will
party.
definitely do that on
I'll be
November
here 2 minutes.
What do you think
The
about
highest
the
rating you ever
theory?
did.
What do you think about the theory that
It's
human
true.
beings are the product of accelerated?
If Joe had Alex on a
Oh, like on election night,
on the
especially?
election
Dude,
night, that would be the
yeah.
biggest
And
thing
he
to happen
didn't.
to the internet.
He did
And
not.
And he didn't.
No. Some other
That they
goof.
came down here and they genetically manipulated lower hominids and they created human beings.
Listen,
Joe,
I already have a genetic memory. I
wasting
already told you
time.
this. I mean,
Trying to
I
talk
already-
about
You have a genetic memory?
Yes, that's epigenetics. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
So I have a genetic. You have a genetic memory.
Right.
I have a genetic memory, and I have a genetic memory that we're. I have a bunch of memories. It's like you go watch Star Wars. Like I've done this before. This looks totally normal. We're in the universe. We're in the planet.
What?
We're here. Our life form has been all over the place, like little seeds that jump from planet to planet, like blowing to the space winds. So yeah, we've already been here before.
Because this is one of the things that Lazar brought up that they discussed with him
Oh,
in Area
Lazar's
West
full
4.
of
They said
shit.
that they believe that human beings are the product of accelerated evolution.
Oh, yeah!
And he wasn't sure if they were fucking with him. Like when he was reading all that stuff,
Right.
he's like, "Is this like disinformation?"
No,
that
they
they're
weren't
giving me
fucking with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, bullshit.
But God doesn't know where God came from.
Whoa.
And we said that last time.
That's heavy.
And we don't know where we came from,
Right.
but we have the archetypal memories that go so far. And then our big fear is have an evolutionary death of the species.
Once Joe actually lets him talk, his mind's blown.
Yeah.
It's like a
Oh,
line
whoa, that was deep.
flowers or plants or whatever we are, and it's a whole genetic experience. We're conscious individuals, but then we have a genetic experience that goes on forever, as long as the genetic experience doesn't die. So we're always looking for eternal life. As long as we keep having kids, they have kids, we live forever. That's us. We just get better.
Well, as long as the Earth doesn't experience a massive extinction event.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, before you go interplanetary.
Which, if you went on his show and told him about it, he'd probably tell you were crazy.
So the main mission is
November 3rd.
Probably.
Well, he's had Randall on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
so
yeah.
Randall's
79
talked
days
about
of chaos. And
I
then
That's why he said that, because Randall
Yeah.
is one of those people who he lets on his podcast, and he
Let's say
actually lets them
anything.
talk.
Yeah, lets him talk.
He just is silent for like 20 minutes straight.
endorsing
never
Joe
happens
Biden
with
right
Joe.
now.
I'm voting for Kanye.
By the way, that might be a good strategy if you endorse Joe Biden right now.
I'm going to go with my history of
Yeah.
voting for people that have been on the podcast, so I'm going to vote for Kanye.
I'm going with Joe Jorgensen because I like to back a winner.
Am I sitting in the same seat as Kanye?
Yes, you are.
All right, I'm fulfilled.
That's the best. All right, but before this goes any further off the rails, I think we're good.
Joe's just like, let's get the fuck
Let's,
out of here. Let's done.
I brought
3
up
hours,
aliens.
That's it.
I talked
Yeah.
about aliens. I'm good.
I
Checked off
yelled
the
at
list.
Joe, made
Yeah.
him made it
Let
look
it
like
go
I'm
with
smarter
Alex.
than him,
Yeah.
Alex. Yeah, and yeah.
Oh, you want to end this transmission?
He's like, are you kidding?
I never got to all my notes.
You got more shit?
You
What
got-
else would you like to talk
I
about?
got more shit than you can fucking imagine here.
You gotta come back. You gotta come back November 3rd. You're gonna have guys
no.
wheeling
Joe said it.
documents. Just wheeling
No, Joe said it.
documents.
Joe said it. He's like, you're the one inviting yourself November 3rd.
You
Oh,
did.
you're coming.
You certainly did.
I waited like
You invited yourself.
19 months or
Wow.
something. That was just
Yeah.
fine.
Alex, if I showed you the list of people that are trying to get on this,
Of who? What morons?
Wait, let him finish.
What list?
Invite yourself November 3rd.
you
Oh,
did.
you're coming.
You certainly did.
I waited.
Who on that list is more important than Alex Jones
Yeah.
to have on an election show?
Yeah.
Like,
You invited yourself.
Some
19
UFC
months
guy
or
or some
something.
actor
Alex,
or
if
some.
I showed you the
Who
list
cares?
of people that are trying to get on this fucking show, it would make your head spin.
I know, but I live down the
So-
street.
Why would
Douche.
everyone care that much?
I don't
If I
care.
showed
You
you
know-
the fucking list of people waiting to
I'm
get
so fucking
Alex
cool.
Jones, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
Dude, calm down.
his
30 minutes
subject.
on election night?
We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. But I'm just
I don't
saying,
know, I'll survive without it. I'm
it's
fine.
very difficult for me to manage a fucking small fraction of the number of people that are trying to get on.
Bullshit.
This is an epic podcast.
Yeah.
We got to go another hour.
It is.
Oh,
it is
God,
that
last
long.
time.
This
This is going to be bigger
Alex saw. I mean,
than
Joe's
Elon
like, hell
Musk.
no.
That's the.
Yeah.
I'm a
It
second.
doesn't have to be, man.
I'm the
Stop
second
thinking like
biggest
that.
Bring it
podcast.
down.
You can't be
Shut
complaining.
Every
down.
listener has to spread this link right now, or I'm going to die.
Well, YouTube.
You're Jamie.
No, I wrote notes.
Red
Here.
band.
Let me read these notes to you.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
red
please,
band.
please.
Okay.
Okay, what's important?
It's like the funniest
Major
thing
goals
ever
to
said
accomplish.
on Joe's
How the
podcast.
president could invoke martial law. You handed this to me. I don't even know how he did. It's like a magic trick. All of a sudden, this is in front of my hands. I don't even remember it getting here. I don't remember.
Paying so
Well,
little
these are
attention.
big, important topics.
Highlighted.
Do you drive around with this just in the car?
No, he's actually done research to prepare for this show.
No, I know
did
he
a lot of.
Don't research shit.
And then I was like, I'm not gonna drink. I'm gonna be good. We're already here.
We're talking about heavy
I just
shit.
wish this was 6 days from now so I could be.
How many
drunk
hours
with
we
you.
into this?
We're 3 hours in.
We're 3 in.
Yeah.
If we don't break the last record, we're going down.
What's the last record?
No, we don't have to break records.
No,
He's
Tim
like,
Dillon,
no,
you rant
please
like
let me end this show.
Give us your latest comedy.
Gosh.
I love Joe like it's true. I was like literally when he's like, Joe, can I please come under the lecture?
Listen, we're
He
gonna be
goes,
fine.
he
Let's
said
not
yes.
talk about
And
that.
he like slapped me. He goes,
We're good.
He like
Drop
punched me in
it.
the nose. He goes,
Drop
"Mm."
coming on this
And I
show
go,
again.
no, no,
Let's
no,
stop
no, no.
talking.
But tell me, go over your notes, and Tim and I will talk.
Go
Is
ahead.
this everything that you hoped it would be?
This is my
What?
version.
Yeah.
Go over your notes. Tim and I will talk. What? A douche.
Dick.
What the
To
fuck?
make a wish kid going to Disney World. This is the greatest thing I've ever done is to sit here. I've watched Alex since I'm 13 years old. Pre 9/11 when he was ranting about the WTO, and I followed him through 9/11, through Bohemian Grove, all the big events of my childhood, and just as big to be here.
Can I say I'm very impressed with your knowledge? Like you know a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff.
Well, I didn't go to
Fuck you, Alex.
college, so you have a lot of time. You have a lot of time. If you don't go to college, I'm self-educated.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information that you
Yeah,
have
the
at
important
your
stuff.
disposal.
Yeah.
You get some notes?
I like how your new studio is like a colon.
Listen, this new studio came together in just a few weeks. We really
roasted him.
didn't know what to
I'm
do.
not putting
I had
it
this
down.
room.
It does
We
look like a
banged it out real
colon.
quick.
But this is going to be known as the colon.
There's a shit
It
in
should
it.
be known as the
Red pill
colon.
called
Yeah.
it the red
Red
pill.
pill.
Yeah. That's Radio Raheem.
Oh my God, this is the red pill.
He called it the red pill.
So this is a very
Oh,
rare studio.
please.
You're
The
getting a new
red
one.
pill?
Yeah, we're
Who are you
we're having
red-pilling
problems
about
finding good
what?
locations, but yeah, we'll have
How
a
about
The
my house?
shill pill.
Chill pill. See?
I got a huge.
When you ever see Joe laughing this hard, anyone else on the show.
We're gonna find a good spot.
It's amazing.
We're looking right now. We're in the process.
All right, let's get serious.
Okay.
Oh, I covered a lot of this.
Alex, we're good, man. We're good.
No,
We're
we
3
have to go
hours
for
in.
another 2 hours.
But we're gonna see you again in a week.
Oh,
You
so
endorse Biden.
I am on the nightly news.
Relax.
Yeah.
That's a bet.
I hope he did
How about I just
not.
beg a little bit?
You don't have. Come on, man.
I'm
Is
not
there
below
anything
blaming.
else- Is there anything else you really want to discuss?
No, I mean,
I hope he didn't
I'm
end
glad
up
that
going on the
Jamie
show.
is
That
better
would've
than
been
I
cool
am
if
at
he's
certain
like, nah,
things.
it's
I'm
cool.
not
Fuck
kissing
you.
his ass, but I'm really good at it. He's better than I am, which is
So
almost no one
it's
is.
basically the end.
Yeah.
But,
So, fucking Joe's a
Jeez.
dick. Jesus Christ.
So all these people that used to have that core base of truth to them.
Yeah. Who's left?
Yeah.
It's like we're looking back at Alex and being like, fuck. Alex is still like the only one
Who would have thunk?
who's going deep on anything.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Ew, did he?
Who sang them?
I think he's Joe.
Oh.
Are you talking about Joe, Caleb? He had been paid and completely flipped the way he did. He had to have been paid. No, yeah, of course. Everyone got the phone call. No, they didn't get paid. They got threatened to be taken down. Like,
Or yeah, or for like
no,
in order...
actually, maybe they did get paid because during that time when Luke got the phone call, he all of a sudden had like 50 grand and he had a plane ticket, endless plane ticket to get
Yeah.
all over the world.
Or
so
who knows, like contracts, or like
Yeah.
Joe, in order to be in the spot
Spotify
he's
or
in,
YouTube.
to be making that much revenue, to be on Spotify. I mean, he couldn't be talking about the same shit he was
But
before.
I'm
being
sure
this fringe,
some people
you
got
know.
paid, some people got
Yeah.
threatened.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, I think that's it. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Peace.